They have excuses now. I am Mecca. There's more Anne Boleyn. Did they give this a rest? I think people are finally reviewing the Anne Boleyn thing, and shocker, they're still on about the explaining away why they decided to really take a lot of liberty with a real-life historical history person, you know? Anne Boleyn, we know she was a real person. We have portraits. We have her descendants. We know what she... It's not a mystery, alright? It's not up for debate. It's not for... We kind of know... It's as insulting as getting the costumes wrong, or the accent wrong, or changing the name of her husband, or changing her name. It's as insulting as changing her name, I think. Don't you think? This isn't Anne Boleyn anymore. This is the story of somebody else. This is somebody else's story. Just tell her story. Why can't they do that? Because they need to trigger people for attention. Because they have nothing new. They're so creatively bankrupt. All they can do is beg for attention by doing these troll bait shows. This is a Santa Inc. thing all over again. It's just troll bait. That's all they have. They had to race swap Anne Boleyn to cut off a black woman's head. It's like, did they not know how she ended up? This is why we need to teach people history, people. I mean, we know, you know that. The people who are out there upset, I'm like, we're not upset that you're trying to give a woman of color, quote unquote, a job. We're upset that you used a character whose head gets chopped off at the end to do it. Alright? Heart's in the right place, your head's up your own ass, and I'm tired of it. We're all tired of it. So what's their defense now? Anne Boleyn series writer Eve Hedderwick recently provided a new explanation, because her old one was bad, right? It was just for attention. Why the series chose to race swap the character in the British miniseries. Her new explanation comes as the series is set to debut on AMC Plus following its release on Channel 5 in the United Kingdom back in June. Previously, the show's director, Lindsay Miller, explained the casting of Jodie Turner-Smith to play Anne Boleyn, saying, "I feel very strongly we have the best actress for the role, so I'm happy to stand by it." Miller went on to address critics of the show's casting, saying, "I'm proud of what we created together, so let them talk. There are going to be a lot of people who don't like it, but I feel there has space for that, and there are going to be a lot of people who love it. I'm one of them." You know, I'm just looking at you like, don't you know history? I'm just looking at you like education and history failed, and you need to go back to school. Alright, and learn that if you want to tell stories of these powerful people, you can do that. There's no reason, there's nothing stopping you. Nobody's saying you can't tell a story with actress Jodie Turner-Smith. I always say Jolene Turner. Jodie Turner-Smith. You can't. Nothing's stopping you. Nobody's saying you can't do it. We're just saying you look a little slow in the head and special when you do this, because it looks like you're either so ignorant of how things were, or you're so provocative and provocational. Not even provocative. Provocational is the word I'm looking for. That you can't do anything else. You can't just make the best damn Anne Boleyn series ever. You can't, because I think this is one of those things where we just keep doing the same thing over and over and over. The ratings for this piece of idiocy were practically non-existent. See, now they're trying to troll up some more ratings. That's what it is. They're trying to troll up some more ratings with a new excuse. Turner-Smith also adjusted her casting back in May. It's much more approachable and appealing to a contemporary audience when you cast this way, because we're distilling this down to the human experience. Smith continued, "If you ask anyone to watch a film or observe any art, you're asking them to suspend their beliefs." Yes, to a certain extent, you know. If you now at this point in history have people outside walking around in space with, you know, without a helmet, without their heads exploding, you would look like a dumb idiot. You know, you would look like somebody who's writing for Star Trek Discovery or something. That's what it really boils down to here. When you go against actual, you know, proven history or science or fact. I thought we were supposed to believe the science, because believing the science is the same thing as believing the history. too. I mean, knowing what happened historically, don't those two go hand in hand? How can you have one and then say fuck off to the other? I mean, isn't that contradictory? But like I said, everybody's hypocritical, including me, especially me. And I understand that, so. I'm aware it's going to be a stretch for some people because they will feel too distracted by that, but I think for a lot of people who are finally ready to see the world in a different way, they're going to see this as a human story we are telling, and a fascinating one at that. She elaborated. So you're just supposed to turn your brain off and ignore it. Is that really a good way to go? I mean, because I don't like turning my brain off with things. Especially when it's historical, you know. This is like a spot the difference sort of puzzle for me, and I like those. I've always done those on, you know, apps. I like the spot the difference sort of things. And when you have that many, all I'm doing is counting the differences then. You know, you do have to suspend your disbelief. However, when you're telling me that you're too trollish or daft to understand how things actually worked, and you're just telling me you don't care. You don't care about detail. You don't care about getting accurate representation of how things actually were. That you're too interested in telling something else. And then you need to just tell something else. When you don't care about getting these things historically accurate, when you don't care about getting the detail or the costume or the names correctly or the accents or the settings. I mean, if you take the story and plunk it in the middle of, you know, let's say Sweden or forget Alaska. Let's say Alaska. Plunk it in the middle of Alaska. It's not going to be a story of Henry VIII. I mean, we know a few things. You're just changing too many. You're taking too many liberties. You're taking too many extreme liberties. Especially when you have descriptions of these characters, visual representation of these characters, paintings, portraits. Go ask her fucking ghost that haunts the tower, doesn't it? Like, what does she have to say? It's just idiotic. It's just idiotic, and it's just to provoke a reaction, just to call people racist if they don't like it. And I'm just sorry, I don't need, like, the 7 millionth version of Anne fucking Boleyn. It gets old. Speaking with the New York Post, saying, we wanted to make sure the world of our Tudor court didn't look exactly like period dramas that we've seen in the past. Like I said, because we've had too damn many of them. Too damn many of the same thing. Because it's such a well-known period of history that we just saw with the fucking Tudors. Anne's story itself has been really well covered, which is why we didn't need another one. We wanted to make sure that it felt fresh and alive and different. It doesn't. It doesn't. And we got it also reflective of our society, so that hopefully we would attract new audience who maybe didn't see relevance from watching a story like this previously. They don't care. They don't care. They're not going to watch it just because it's woke now. The explanation doesn't really hold up, as Media Mole uses ratings for data and overnights. TV reports that the first episode only saw 774,000 people tune in. And there's a Bounding Into Comics article. That was good enough to capture only 5.2% of audience share. From then, the 3-episode series saw the ratings take a massive nosedive. See, that's what happens. They tune in to see what it looks like. And they just want to drum up a little bit of extra buzz. They want to troll in a few extra clicks for people to watch it who couldn't because it was in the UK. Are they going to? Maybe a couple here and there. I think this is just because of 2020, everything's shutting down. They just need anything and anything to put out just to fill up some airspace, just to fill up some time. So they're going to air this over on AMC now, or is it AMC Plus? Who cares? AMC Plus. For crying out loud, we didn't need another one. That's why they do these. It's public domain, it's free for the rights, it was probably cheap to make, and they needed to do something like this to troll the audience into giving it a curiosity click. I am Mecca, and fuck this production. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!